Rumored to be in development, and with Assassin's Creed apparently not having a sequel this year, the time seems right for a new Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs 2 released in 2016 and made several big improvements over the original. What could the third game possibly offer? We're not sure yet, but here are 15 things we'd like to see. Lack of looter gameplay. Ubisoft has been digging deeper into the action RPG looter gameplay loop for many of its titles. We thought it was confined to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but Far Cry New Dawn proved otherwise. Now, collecting social media followers by completing whatever objectives and story missions we choose, that's fine. Trying to min-max different loadouts, having enemies scale with us in level while being somewhat spongy, and different rarities for gear, leave that to The Division 2, please. More than one city. Rumors have emerged about Watch Dogs 3 taking place in London, and that's something we're fine with. The city hasn't seen too much play since the days of The Getaway, or GTA London 1969 for that matter. However, we couldn't help but hope that the next game would feature multiple cities, or even take place across different cities in different countries. Can you imagine dealing with multiple CTOS networks in that scenario? Unique protagonists and character creator. A character creator has also been rumored for the third game, and seeing as it's had decent results in recent Ubisoft titles, we're perfectly fine with it. That being said, it would be great to see some kind of unique protagonist or two as well. Perhaps they could have their own origin stories, which change how they interact with established characters and factions. Of course, the player would have the freedom to make their own choices. This would just be a great way to explore multiple narrative perspectives and possibly other different playstyles. Full cyberpunk. One thing that probably won't happen is Watch Dogs 3 ditching the near-future approach of previous titles and going fully cyberpunk. We're talking mega-corporation-fueled society with deckers running around and full cyberspace areas that can be navigated a la Shadowrun Hong Kong. Then again, we'd probably just want a more epic sequel in the Shadowrun series. It's hard to say. Improved stealth. Stealth in Watch Dogs 2 wasn't the best, and that's saying something considering Ubisoft is the company that brought us Splinter Cell. Using devices and making your way around downtown is all well and good, but the sequel needs to get the essentials in order, such as properly defining what keeps a player hidden, proper logic for enemies to follow, and so on. Also, please let us shoot someone and have it count as stealthy. It can be stealthy, we promise. Numerous factions to join. Watch Dogs has always had multiple factions to deal with, whether it's DedSec, the Black Viceroys, or Prime 8. Watch Dogs 3 should still have factions available, but we'd like to see the player actually have some choice in joining them, maybe complete a few tasks and have unique quest lines that can fully swear you into a rival hacking group, for instance, and bring you at odds with your original posse. World-altering story missions. Open-world games typically don't have your story actions reshape the open world. While we don't expect a nuking Megaton scenario, Watch Dogs 3 should present players with choices to change the overall landscape. Some of that potential is kind of visible in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But what about a system akin to the upcoming Dying Light 2, with parts of the world actually changing to represent the weight of your actions? New gangs running amok, certain areas becoming deserted, new locations popping up, and so on are just a few examples. And hey, if Ubisoft wants to implement this over time as a games-as-a-service deal, then have at it. More unique hacking scenarios. We wouldn't be opposed to more unique hacking scenarios and situations. Give us actual hacking sessions that must be completed over a period of time, even if you have to throw in real-world infiltration and setups required with multiple crew members. Create unique cyberspace scenarios that must be explored with puzzles to complete. With so much compelling hacker culture out there, there are lots of possibilities. Environmental manipulation. Rising road blockers and turning off all the lights can be pretty nifty. However, given that an entire city is under one's control, we'd like to see CTOS expand to offer even more ways to manipulate the environment. Crazy stunts like hacking the side of a building to play Tetris, or triggering a massive alert that brings the army in with all kinds of heavy-duty ordnance would be cool. So would hacking multiple cars and either having them as an entourage or commanded at will. Bring back digital trips. Were the digital trips in Watch Dogs 1 relevant to the plot? Well, no, but they were fun, especially the spider tank, which let you cut loose and wreak havoc on everything. We missed that in Watch Dogs 2, and quite frankly, there's no reason not to bring them back. Expand on it a bit more, maybe tie the digital trips into some kind of quest about addiction, and we're good to go. Improved gunplay. Given our request for better stealth and more varied hacking scenarios, it only makes sense to improve the gunplay as well. More fluid cover mechanics, better feedback when firing, and of course, plenty of powerful weapons to tear through the opposition would be great. Ubisoft has stepped up their shooting game in the past several years, and hopefully Watch Dogs 3 can continue that tradition. Interesting side stories and narratives. Watch Dogs 2 did a great job with giving us sympathetic characters, interesting side quests, and unique narratives to pursue. Having a solid cast of characters with loyalty missions, pursuing all kinds of dumb and serious missions, and having a Yakuza-style gallery of odd NPCs to complete requests for would be just perfect. If Ubisoft also wants to take the opportunity to expand on the decision-making in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that would be even better. Environmental destruction. Implementing this would be somewhat tough since we'd like to see some kind of destructibility, but having real-time destruction for everything wouldn't work. Still, something as simple as destructible cover could go a long way towards improving the gunfights. And hey, if we get a mission to level an entire city block or two, we won't be complaining, even if it doesn't come across as very hacker-like. Spies versus Mercenaries. While the seamless co-op multiplayer, competitive modes, and invasion-style activities were fine in previous games, we'd like to see Watch Dogs 3 feature its own fleshed-out and dedicated PvP mode as well. It can be completely separate from the main game and in the vein of, say, Spies vs. Mercenaries from Splinter Cell. Imagine having missions where one group has to hack through a series of objectives while the other has to defend. This isn't to say we wouldn't want 4-player co-op in the campaign, even if it's added over time. Post-campaign scenario. If there's one thing that Watch Dogs 3 should take away from games like The Division 2, it's having a post-game campaign. We don't need anything too extensive, but some new story missions, perhaps delivering an epilogue or a true ending along with some new challenges would be great. Once again though, no looter-shooter aspects, please. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.